At midnight, they mobilized. Seattle crews arriving in Little Saigon found flames shooting through the roof. More than 80 firefighters spent hours battling the blaze as thick black smoke could be seen from miles away.
I remember going there on the weekend shopping with my mom when I was a kid, but that was one of our only large grocery stores in the Chinatown-International District.
The city had slated this shell of a supermarket for demolition last fall. Seattle City Councilwoman Tanya Wu says what was once a thriving business had fallen on hard times.
They ended up closing during the pandemic because they were saying they were experiencing $10,000 worth of theft every single month, and they just could not survive.
Wu explains in the years since, it's sat empty. There was talk of repurposing it for housing, but now the future is uncertain. This is one of 4 vacant buildings across the city that went up in flames just within the last week. Thursday, it was a duplex in Judkins Park. 2 days before that, fire roared through 2 Roosevelt neighborhood structures. One was this apartment complex. Someone trapped inside did not make it out alive.
1 person was killed and 3 people were injured, so this couldn't be more timely.
Last week, in the wake of that tragedy, Seattle City Council unanimously passed an ordinance giving the fire department authority to demo problematic properties at the owner's expense. In the last year alone, Seattle Fire responded to a record-breaking 130 incidents at vacant or derelict buildings.
These buildings represent a safety risk to the communities they're located in and the general public.
Tanya Wu spoke up amidst her council colleagues to make it clear not everyone is a deadbeat property owner trying to cash an insurance check. In fact, she has personal experience with picking up the pieces after a devastating fire.
I experienced that with my family's building, a historical building that caught on fire, and it sat empty for 2 years before we were able to redevelop it.
Telling me it took millions just to knock it down. Funds property owners in under-resourced communities like the CID may just not have in the bank.
We have to make sure we do it thoughtfully so that we're not forcing property owners to have to sell, making sure that people are responding and that they're actually working towards a solution versus letting it sit there.
We've got to focus on one more thing before we leave you here. See all of this water, gallons of it. Thousands of gallons rushing from the scene of the fire down Jackson. It's almost like a fast-moving river full of ash, debris, building residue, all sorts of nasty things traveling down towards Puget Sound. You will see all of this pooling up as far as 2nd Avenue. And I reached out to fire officials to see if they're worried about this, and they said they have Seattle Public Utilities and the Department of Transportation monitoring this fast-moving water. For now, reporting in the Chinatown-International District, Lauren Donovan, Fox 13 News.